this time won't be the same as before. After that, Diana returned me to my room. I reject everyone, including the healers who phoned the Emperor, and I just want Mother and Diana to be with me. They consoled me for hours, and after I stopped sobbing, Mother took great care to feed me the meal Diana had brought. Mother has frequently questioned me about what is causing me to cry in this way, but I firmly refuse to share that information because nobody will believe me anyway. I was instructed to rest after eating, and Mother lovingly massaged my head while singing softly. The earth was illuminated by the sun's rays. The kids began to play and enjoyed themselves. When night falls, the moon replaces the sun and, along with the thousands of stars in the sky, brightens the gloomy night. The children must wade through the magic, which is truly wonderful. For them, the world has wonderful dreams. When I hear this song, which my mother frequently enjoys, I grin. Sings and is a song. Lullaby for new parents. Their offspring within this empire. A song that gives me that feeling. How recently have I felt this way? Listen to it, huh? I'm gradually sensing that, Mother started to get up from all of his positions. Sat next to me while petting me. Then, shortly after, my hair. The sound of a closed door was heard. I opened my eyes once more. It appeared that Diana and Mother believed I was already in bed. Okay, let's move on. Recall it. My true self was. The sun god was offered by being killed by fire. As a result of my accusations of the Emperor being poisoned. Also, I'm very clear. Remembering the final words I uttered before passing away. And it would appear that the sun god is real because he appeared in response to my prayers and gave me the opportunity to repeat my life before sending me back in time. If my hypothesis turns out to be correct, I will be extremely grateful to the God of Sonne or the God of the Sun for giving me another chance. When I was 8 years old and later permitted to leave the palace, I believe the temple of the sun god was the first place I visited. The sun god, sometimes known as the song god, was the main deity adored by this Eilidh Empire. Moon goddess Selena, who is highly worshipped in this empire, is on sun god's side. According to legend, the globe was conflicts that never end, 'cause chaos. Finally, a god emerged who had had enough of the behavior of people on earth and destroyed everything in his path. He was Detruo, the god of destruction. Many people fell prey to the ferocity and brutality with which God Detruo killed people during that time. Therefore, the humans also prayed to the other gods, pleading with them to save them and pardon them. Two gods, Sonne, the god of the sun, and Selena, the goddess of the moon, responded to the petition. Since it would undoubtedly upset the balance of the world if they both appeared at once, their strong emotions and determination to spare humans from suffering are even more compelling. Big. The world abruptly transformed, with the right side of the planet experiencing daytime and the left experiencing nighttime. The god of destruction was ultimately defeated by the gods of the sun and moon after a very hard conflict. The god sun and moon goddess then used a highly powerful seal to bury the god of devastation. Since that time, people have worshipped the sun god and the moon goddess out of gratitude. Then, by creating new empires and kingdoms, humans started to reconstruct their destroyed civilizations. Humans founded the Eilidh Empire while instantly observing how powerful the conflict between the three gods was. Forced them to truly revere the gods. The sun and moon gods established this empire under the name Eilidh, which in ancient languages referred to the sun and meant empire. It was created in honor of the sun god, who is in fact more powerful than the moon god. I'm not sure when the custom of making offerings to the sun god began. The sacrifices took the shape of young girls who were burned alive in order to become the sun god's wives. Can never be together because they are both constrained by social conventions and are unable to meet up as they please. Therefore, the ancient inhabitants of the empire decided to present young girls once every 50 years to the sacred fire, scorched the sun god. Wait, does that mean I'm one of the sun god's wives? But now I'm being transported back in time. Is it possible that the sun god dislikes me? My head is shaking because it is so tight. Don't think that way. Whether the sun god is to blame for this or not, I've been given another chance to make things right, so this is actually a positive thing. That's really difficult. Perhaps I could be friendlier to the crown prince and the princes and act cuter, but it appears that the emperor can no longer be convinced. I just turned 5, about to be 6 when I hear Diana say that. Mentioned that previously when consoling me, which means that Amira, alias princess of the product of his affair with a woman, was born as well and is even my current age. Again, the emperor did put his love for me first, but ever since Amira and her mother came forward with their identities, the emperor and mother's bond has been ruined. They fight every time they meet, and their interactions are never as cute as they were in the past. When I was 16, mother was found dead inexplicably, and during that period, the love emperor had for me also waned. They even had a cold war for 4 years. The emperor is not at all portraying a sad expression, while the crown prince and I are sobbing over mother's leaving. When he hears, all he does is appear flat. The passing of his legitimate wife and just remarked, "Oh, so he died?" Nevertheless, whether out of concern for his reputation or not, he was seen publicly displaying a shocked expression while firmly ordering Senma soldiers to look into my mother's death. However, the results of their investigation were still inconclusive. The emperor was having a tea party with Amira when I first told him about it, and his mother merely had a blank expression when Prince Blaise and I told him. At the moment, I was unsure whether or not he was shocked. We were both astonished when the emperor casually remarked that, but when soldiers came to give the news, he only exhibited astonishment and sadness on his face. I almost snorted softly. Laugh loudly. After all, he's a jerk who betrayed mother, so maybe it really is his true face. Surely he's deceitful. In the meantime, the crown prince is slowly but surely becoming farther from me. Oddly enough, even though he had always been chilly to Amira and his mother, a few months after her passing, he was warm toward both of them. A year later, the emperor declared that his concubine mother Amira would succeed him as empress. Of course, Prince Blaise and I were shocked and opposed to everything, so imagine our surprise when, all of a sudden, Prince Helios agreed with him and warmed up to Amira and her mother after unanimously agreeing with the emperor, who was also supported by the crown prince and Prince Helios. The next empress was also Amira. At that time, Prince Blaise stayed by my side and constantly gave me strength, despite the fact that my heart was aching terribly. Relax a bit. Everything will definitely work out fine. The big brother's attitude probably altered as a result of their exhaustion from running the empire's operations. Vivi, relax, your Blaise brother will unquestionably always be by your side. Even thinking about Prince Blaise's comments causes my heart to hurt. He told lies. He had lied since he had also changed a few months prior to my passing away at the age of 18 that year. He abruptly exhibited frigid behavior toward me before becoming nice and friendly toward Amira and resuming their hangouts. Her 2 brothers, together. He disregarded me and appeared to detest me. He even burned me while grinning with joy. He also tortured me in the cell. I couldn't help but cry till my cheeks were wet. I should not be crying right now. I now understand that I cannot depend on anyone because those who once loved me would grow distant and uncaring in the future. I've lost faith in them. Since I am the only person I have, I am adamant that things won't go back to how they were. This time, I have to keep Mother and Diana safe. Since Amira and her mother have been together for a while, I really can't stop them from entering our lives. As a parasite between us. In addition to using healing magic, I must get even stronger if I want to be able to defend Mother and Diana. I am at my limit right now. I stood up and left my bed with a sept. I instantly hurried to the Emperor's room on my now small feet. And it won't take long. 2 soldiers who were stationed at the door of the Emperor's room approached me as soon as I entered with my breath panting. "How is Princess Viviane doing? Would you like to meet His Majesty, the Emperor?" questioned a soldier. Well, the old me is just sticking in my mind. Of course, they didn't think anything weird about my stance toward the Emperor again. I answered with a firm yes. "Kindly open it up." The soldier simply grinned before opening the door, which at this point appears to be quite large, along with his friend. "Princess, kindly enter." I smiled and said, "Thank you." Mother was seated on the sofa in the Emperor's room when I first walked in, and the Emperor himself was seated at his desk. My focus was drawn to the fact that the Emperor had a woman serving tea to him right next to him. "Of course I know who you are," I thought with a smile in my heart. "She works as a butler and is a buddy. She has been the Emperor's mistress ever since she was a little girl, and she is linked to my mother through her sister, Kyla Leander Corazon. The daughter of Baron Corazon decides to follow in her mother's footsteps and work as a palace maid. In fact, like other baron families, the majority of the maids in this palace are from low-level aristocratic families. Diana is a member of the Viscount family as well. The 2 of them continue to act like master and master in front of Mother while cheating behind her. They are shameless. So repulsive. I don't want to be in the same room as either of them, in fact. But I have to do it anyway, for the sake of future Mother and Diana protection is in my plans. I need to control myself. "Vivi?" Mother and the Emperor both exclaimed in amazement at my presence. "Mother!" I ran, crying, to Mom and gave her a bear embrace as soon as I saw her. "Vivi, what's wrong? Shouldn't you be sleeping in the room?" "Confused?" asked Mother. "No." I shook my head. "I just woke up after having a nightmare, so I got here right away." The Emperor then came over to the sofa where we were sitting and asked, "Vivi, had a bad dream, like what?" Even I am too sluggish to respond to the son of a bitch who dared to betray this mother's questions. Shame on you for having a father like that. But what else can we do, since we are unable to choose our biological parents? And I'm also grateful to be the offspring of a strong lady who maintains her dignity in the face of different criticisms for not being able to care for her spouse from the women of the nobility. Well, it's certainly not Mother's fault. The Emperor carried out the affair with that woman knowingly, so Mother is not at fault since the Emperor could very well have concealed the scandal for a long time. In front of him, I also put on a dejected expression and said, "I dreamed that there were 2 creatures who were very nasty and also ugly and repulsive, who ate Mother and Father. Also Diana, they took Dad, Big Sister Castor, Big Sister Helios, and Sis Blaze after that, and they abandoned me in the middle of the palace, which was engulfed in sweltering flames that also came and burned me." "Okay, Dad." When I spoke, the Emperor and the woman were in a state of shock. Mother, despite herself, forced a grin, saying, "Vivi, it's okay. It was merely a nightmare. Just a sleeping flower? Vivi, tell me more." Mother then gave me a hard hug, and I could feel the trembling in her shoulders. I then cast a quick glance at the Emperor, who had turned his head in the opposite direction. The woman had also done the same, but when she looked a little closer, she had a tiny smile on her lips. "I gotcha. Not just him, but also I. Also had success seducing the Emperor and Mother. Knowing that her princess will eventually be the sole princess in this empire, that damn Mother must be feeling quite triumphant and joyful right now. Because I told them about my dream, they knew I was the girl who would be the sun god's next offering.